Hey, what's going on guys? Arian here, and welcome to our review over the BlackBerry DTEK 60. Now I know some of you are probably thinking, hey man, that phone came out like 5 months ago. Why are you reviewing it now?
Yeah, man, why?
Well, David and I thought it would be a good idea because if you've been keeping up with the news, you probably heard about the BlackBerry Mercury, and that phone is probably going to be pretty awesome. So what better way to get the hype surrounded around BlackBerry than to review their mid-range offering, the DTEK 60. So with that being said, as the expression goes, better late than never. Let's get right into it. So let's talk about one of my favorite aspects of the DTEK 60, its build quality. On the front and the back of the phone you have glass, with the edges being slightly curved, which leads to a really comfortable feel in the hand. As far as the frame of the phone goes, it's smooth metal. Now on the left side of the phone you have your power button with your nano SIM tray and a micro SD card slot. On the right side you have your volume rocker and the convenience key. On the bottom of the phone, you have a USB-C port on the right, and on the top of the phone, you have a headphone jack on the left. Now, my favorite part of the DTEK 60's build is the super small and sleek fingerprint sensor found on the back of the phone. That works relatively well. The only issue I had with the build quality was that the power button was on the top left and the volume rocker was on the top right. Now, most phones kind of have this the other way around, and I personally prefer it that way as well, but it's really not a deal breaker at all, and it's something I got used to relatively quick. Now the DTEK 60 is a really interesting phone in the fact that it's priced like a mid-range phone, but it's got the internal specs of a 2016 flagship. It comes with a Snapdragon 820 and 4 gigs of RAM. Now this is something familiar that we saw all throughout 2016 last year, so you know it's going to be relatively snappy. Every now and then you have the occasional hiccup when you try and open up the app drawer or open up an application, but that's really a small quirk and you really can't tell unless you sit there and really look for any signs of lag. So overall, the phone performs really snappy. Day-to-day tasks and switching back and forth between numerous apps go without a hitch, and it performs just about as well as you'd expect it to given the nice internals. Another really nice aspect of the DTEK 60, its screen. It sits at 5.5 inches and it's Quad HD AMOLED, 1440 by 2560 resolution. Now that equates to about 534 pixels per inch. Now as I said in the unboxing and first impressions video, it's not anything new or revolutionary by any means, but it's still an amazing screen. Viewing angles on the screen are solid and outdoor visibility is pretty decent. And since it's an AMOLED panel, you get really rich and vibrant colors. And when you pair the screen with two front-facing and rear-facing speakers, you get an excellent multimedia experience. So here's where BlackBerry really won me over with the DTEK 60, and that's in their software. Yeah, it's got stock Android OS, but they made some slight changes to it, and I really enjoyed the changes. As far as the exact software, it's Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow. So yeah, they're a little behind in terms of implementing major Android software updates, but at least BlackBerry sends out the latest security patches every month directly from Google. Now I'm going to talk about 3 specific software enhancements that really helped elevate my day-to-day experience with the DTEK 60, and the first one is the notification shade. So yeah, it's the same notification panel you pull down from the top to see your standard list of notifications, but what's different about it is at the top you have a list of icons that you actually have notifications for. And when you push on one icon specifically, it isolates that specific notification for that specific application. So you can eliminate distractions and decide whether or not you want to act on the notification now or just clear it and dismiss it for later. Now this next one is something relatively small, but it still made a huge impact on me, and I'm not really sure why, I just think it's really cool. When you plug the phone into charge, you'll see a green bar climb up the right side of the screen. And you'll even see this green bar when the display is turned off. It's designed to show you how much battery you actually have while charging, so you don't waste time turning on your display just to check to see how much battery you have. And last but not least, the BlackBerry DTEK Security Suite. Now this is an application that shows you an in-depth analysis of your phone's current security status. And if there's anything wrong, the app will show you what's wrong specifically and how to solve it step by step. It's advanced security, but it's presented in a way where anyone can make sure their device is safe from harm. You also get tons of productivity design software on the phone as well. The productivity tab sits on the right side of the screen and it's designed to show you a snapshot of your current day's events as well as the next day's events just by swiping in from the right side of the screen. But my favorite productivity application on the DTEK 60 is the Blackberry Hub. It's your one-stop shop for all of your calls, texts, emails, and social media notifications. Basically everything that's important to you in your everyday life. Now, it's all in one place and it's all organized by tabs, so you can stop shuffling through numerous applications in order to get the information you need. Chances are, if it's important to you, you'll find it in the Blackberry Hub. Now there's only one issue I have with the software, and that's how long it takes to receive major Android upgrades. Yeah, the phone still has Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow like I mentioned earlier, and that's with Nougat being out for at least a few months now. Now there is a reasonable excuse for this, and that's because BlackBerry implements their own security changes once Google releases the final build of an Android version. So BlackBerry has to make sure that they keep the software stable, but at the same time secure. So this creates a delay in the update process. I'm only mentioning this because if you're someone out there who prioritizes software updates over anything else, you might want to steer clear of this phone. But let's get back on track to really good things about the DTEK 60. The good stuff doesn't just stop after the screen, the build quality, and the performance, it also extends into the camera. Now the rear camera on the DTEK 60 is 21 megapixels and it takes great photos under good lighting conditions. Low light pictures are kind of iffy, but the phone can shoot video in 4K and also take slow-mo video, which isn't something you see on every single phone these days. Needless to say, the camera on the DTEK 60 is really solid, and if I was out, with some friends at night, and the DTEK 60 was the only phone in my pocket, I really wouldn't be disappointed having to take pictures with it. So basically everything about the DTEK 60 is positive, right? So that kind of has to extend into the battery life. Well, you'll be happy to know that it does. The DTEK 60 has one of the most impressive battery lives out of all the phones I have tested so far. Now it only has 3000 milliamp hours, but on my first day I had almost 6 hours of screen on time before the phone was close to dying, and for the rest of my review period, which was 6 to 7 more days, I consistently got over 4 hours of screen on time, and it was really getting closer to 5 hours. That's really impressive considering the phone, like I said, only has a 3000 milliamp hour pack. I can't imagine how good the battery life would be if it had an even bigger battery, like the Pixel XL. So my overall verdict of the DTEK 60 is that it's really impressive, especially given the price range. The phone has an obvious focus on business and productivity, but that doesn't stop it from being an incredible all-around performer. For $499, you get an excellent screen, awesome build quality, amazing battery life, snappy performance, and a good camera, which is basically the all-around package for a smartphone. Now, if you're someone who values software updates, like I said, you should probably steer clear and look at something else. But for everyone else, I have absolutely no problems recommending this phone. And you should probably keep an eye out. Since Mercury is right around the corner, the DTEK 60 might hit some pretty awesome sales. So that's about it for the Tech Bros review over the BlackBerry DTEK 60. I really hope you guys enjoyed the review, and if you did, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. And if you did, be sure to show your...
Oh my god!
I can't get past that part.